Hey, mum and dad, do you have advice on coping with limerence?
Well, I would say in the first instant, try not get it if you can, because once you've got it, it's very hard to get rid
Yeah.
of. So that's the first bit of advice.
But maybe we should also talk about if you recognize that you are becoming way too attached to another person, especially if they are not the person in your not your primary relationship, then that is something to be concerned about. And again, that's about having self-awareness
Mm.
around how you're feeling and whether your feelings are different than how you've had before for a person. And I think that that's also important. So it's about self-awareness, but you can stop going down that rabbit hole, because it is a bit like a rabbit hole to Alice in Wonderland when you've got limerence. Once you start down that journey, it's a slippery slope into a whole new world. Is about trying to sort of slow things down, to recognize if you're feeling that way, to just take your time, just to think, is this right? Is this normal how I'm feeling? And if it's about another person and that person is not your primary relationship, then you have to really be mindful of not being around the other person who is causing those feelings, isn't it?
Yeah, and I would say, as Ruth says, it's about self-awareness. And if you're starting to get feelings for another person, you have to be really hyper boundaried around avoiding that
Mm.
person. And the other thing I would say is if you're in a relationship, ideally, you can talk to your partner about it, that there's no shame in having limerence. And if your partner understands what limerence is and it's a form of addiction, you then can tell your partner, look, I'm starting to develop
Yeah.
feelings for X, Y, Z. I need your help. I need your support.
Mm.
And I think that is really helpful as well.
That's helpful, although in experience that doesn't often happen, because if you don't have that good communication with your partner, you're not going to want to tell them about having feelings for somebody else. So I do think that's an ideal to get to.
Yeah, and later on, after you've done a
Yeah,
lot of work in your
yeah,
primary relationship,
then
that you
then
can
that
do
is
that.
that is possible. But I think it's just about being self-aware of your own feelings towards this person or the other person.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't feel normal for you, i.e., it's starting to become obsessive and overwhelming, it's really, you're the only one that can stop that. You have to learn to pull yourself back. You have to learn to do things to distract yourself from
Right.
that other person.
We need to. Anyway, like, subscribe. Love to hear your comments about whether you managed to head off limerence at the pass. Put the comments in the comment section. Check out our other TikToks and all things relationship. And we've also just done our first YouTube. So
Whoa.
check out the Married Therapists on YouTube. We'll put a link to it in the description. I think
Yeah.
you can do that, can't you, Isabel? Great. All right. Thank you.